Oh gosh. Oh, okay. Hi. Hello. I'm, I'm not doing anything back here. I'm just, we could,
Who are you?
me? Who am I? I'm Parnell Mooney. It's a pleasure to be, you found me in my nest. I'm Parnell. I'm one of the four, Rat Hiders crew. Um, one of the rats, some would say. Rat Hiders is a way of life. It's a way of being. I think Rat Hiders is a community event, a thing that brings people together. Not only that, but it's also an extremely fun game. Um, the game itself, I think, at its core, it is the best that I've seen at getting people that don't know each other to come together and to just be as insane and silly as they can, which somehow makes people, like, no matter who they are, come together and just have fun hiding rats. Conceptually, I've played a lot of games that are fun, that I like. So when we were creating the game, I tried to put a lot of those things together. Um, there's a lot of argument type, like kind of like debatey stuff that goes on during accusations. That's kind of one of my favorite parts of the game is when you get to watch everybody kind of like argue and be like, I think you have rats. I can smell your rats. I know you have them. And it's like it's a beautiful part to see. Even though when people don't have rats, they still start throwing accusations out, and it's. I originally there was a game called Spy, and Spy is what kind of gave the idea of having some sort of argument phase. But I would say that also the randomness of the game and the way that the cards can be shuffled around so much that you really have no real idea of what could happen next. I really enjoy. I'm a man who likes chaos, and this game in its core is built in a lot of chaos. When we first thought of the game, I was at a rave in Joshua Tree, California, with my good buddy and business partner Checo, and there was a lady who was trying to remember the name of a card game, and she kept going ruh, ruh, and my buddy Checo goes Rat Hiders, and in that moment, I had this thought because she immediately went, "What the heck is Rat Hiders? What?" And my first thought was, well, we need to make this game real so that a year from now we find this lady again. And when she sits there and goes, Rat Hiders isn't real, we can go and hold the cards up and be like, well, what's this then, huh? So, as much as the game itself, I think it means a lot to me and it has a lot of different things that I want from it. But even now, I'm just proud to even say that we have a playable game. Not only a game that's playable, but I've been in situations where I didn't even want to play. People are like, I want to try to play Rat Hiders, and I'm like out of it, and I don't really feel like playing. And the game has been so fun, time and time again, that even in those moments, I end up still having fun during the game every time, even when I don't really feel like I want to all the way. I would say my favorite rat out of all the rats might be Ham Rat, but there was an older version, but that never got printed into a deck, but it was called Deluxe Ham Rat. And Deluxe Ham Rat was just a little bit bigger and a little bit better, but drawn by the same person. This person named Sierra. We met a lightning in a bottle. But I would say Deluxe Ham Rat was also one of my. But yeah, I go with Ham Rat. I would personally say that you could play with anybody. It's a game that I've played with people in bars that just got off of a fishing charter boat that are in their 50s and got calloused hands. I play with dudes missing fingers, and I've played with dudes that don't even want to play the game, and yet they still have some fun. I've played with kids. I've played anywhere you could think to play the game, and people have always had a pretty decent time. I would say that my favorite atmosphere to play the game, we'll go sometimes with the Rat Hiders crew, and we'll go to like a rave or like a big event with lots of people, and then we'll go into the middle of where all the people are, where there's like 1,000 people, and we'll play Rat Hiders like right in the middle. And people always come up and they're like, "What the heck is happening?" And we're like, "We're hiding rats," and nobody ever understands. But sometimes, one time we had a lady who come up, she was like, "What are you doing?" And then we were like, "We're hiding rats." And then she sat in the middle of this loud music show and she learned the rules really without much explanation. And she sat and played a couple games of Rat Hiders with us that day. And it was so magical. It's one of those things where even without being able to communicate properly, you still can figure out how to hide some rats, you know? I mean, I could never say for sure why people are so in love with rats right now. I'd say that everyone at their core can identify with being dirty and down in the dumps, and sometimes that's kind of the epitome of what a rat is. You know, like I mean, these rats that we have, we draw them and we tell people that draw them that it doesn't have to be a rat. It could be anything. It could be any sort of possible idea you have. Just give it the vibes of a rat. And I think that there's a part of Rat Hiders that gives people an ability to be who they want to be in any circumstance. Like even if they have their rat teeth out or they're hiding under the table, they're just goofing. They're just gaffing, and that's like at its core, that's a beautiful part of the game. Um, it's an important thing to have fun in our modern day and age right now. Other than whole milk, I would have to say the most important thing to me in life right now is to make people laugh. Um, I think that it's more important than money or circumstance and where I'm at. As long as I can make sure that everyone's smiling and having a good time, and that's all I really need. And a part of that is why we did Rat Hiders. Like a lot of this game, even though sometimes I felt like it wasn't something that we even needed to make, or like should have kept trying with, it was like people enjoyed it and they laughed and they smiled and they had a good time and then they pushed us forward. And like honestly, that's kind of what we're doing here today is asking you to push us forward even more. Because right now we're like working really hard. We want to do the best we can to make this a thing that gets into all sorts of local businesses, and we want people to be able to buy it all over. But even then, like we can't do it without help. And um, I feel like being able to have the push from the people that are here today watching this is going to give us a big way to put more smiles in more people's faces. And it's like the biggest goal right now is it's not making money. It's trying to see people enjoying the game, and a part of that is enjoying each other and the people around them.